I sold everything. I sold it all. This video is not clickbait by any form. It's not some sort of joke that I'm playing on you guys. I actually this morning literally went out and sold my entire TFSA portfolio. I shouldn't say the entire portfolio. I actually left 2 stocks and we're gonna go over those in this video. But yeah, bittersweet feeling, I guess you could say. Very, very strange. I never really thought I'd come to this point, but given the circumstances, given how things have kind of played out, that's the decision I made. I ended up selling out of the stock market today, and that's what I want to talk about with you guys. Just for a little bit of context here, guys, I actually have an announcement that nobody really knows, especially the public. I'm rather private about my life in many ways. Not always. You know, we got the Instagram, we have the second channel, which you should definitely go follow if you want more behind the scenes content. But for those that have been following, you guys know my fiance. We've been together for 8 years. She's the most beautiful girl that I know. We are going to be having a baby in the month of February. So just a couple months away, maybe 3 months away. But it's something I've kind of bit my tongue on for a while. You know, we wanted to make sure that the baby was healthy. It's a little baby girl, which is just kind of crazy to think about. That's just gonna be a whole new chapter of my life coming up soon, and we're kind of getting into crunch time, more or less. But yeah, baby's healthy. We are ecstatic. I'm so much more excited than nervous, which I don't know if that's a weird thing or not. I'm not nervous at all. I don't know. I probably should be, to be honest. But it's just excitement. It's just excitement to kind of play this role as a dad and whatnot. But anywho, why that matters, first of all, thanks in advance for the comments. We did inform our academy students, so they've just were glowing with kind things to say, and to all of you guys, like that means the world to me. It really, really, really does. And to be able to do this, you know, YouTube thing as my full-time gig here and work with you guys on my own schedule, making videos, like I couldn't ask for anything better. For all the support and everybody who's been here along the way, thank you. Why that relates to this video is that we did actually last night close on a property. That in and of itself could be an entire video, how much of a battle that was and how much of a bidding war it was. There were 8 other offers. The previous house that we tried to get about a couple of weeks ago, there were 10 other offers and we lost out. I think these are more suited for the second channel, so I would encourage you, go subscribe there. I think we have like 600 subscribers. Nevertheless, we did end up getting this place, and it was truly a battle, and it was just the craziest story, but such a relief to be able to get our hands on a property here in Richmond, close to the Vancouver area. Very, very competitive. The townhouse market is really what we're looking at, and the place we settled on was about a 1,300 square foot place for 1.3 million, just shy of that, 1.295 ballpark. So big dollar values that we're working with for small places, but that's kind of the trade-off that you make living in an area like this. Nevertheless, that leads me to where we are today, where I needed to come up with some money for the down payment. And I did, as you can tell by the title of this video, make the very tough decision to sell out of my shares. And I opted to go with the money in my TFSA. This, of course, is a very personalized situation as to how you should generate your money for a down payment, whether that's through savings. In my case, I have corporate money, which I need to take out and pay taxes on. I have my RSP to look at. I have my TFSA. There's gonna be a bit of pulling from all sorts, but given my current tax rate, given the amount of income that I have in this calendar year, etc., it made sense for me to draw the money out of my investments. I'll just pull up some screen recordings to show you guys here. This is my Questrade TFSA. Total value about $75,000. Just FYI for our Questrade users, big tip, always go back to the old Questrade layout because their new one sucks, man. Their new one sucks to the point where it's really having me reconsider the platform, because just I don't know what they're doing on their end. But I go back to this Investor's Edge platform, which you can easily do. Comment down below if you want help with that, but this is such a better layout. All in Canadian dollars, about $75,000. To toggle over to some of the holdings, when I made this assessment, basically crunching the math, I was trying to generate about $60,000 from this account, meaning that I didn't have to sell every single stock. And actually the title is a slightly bit misleading because out of the entire positions that you're seeing on the page here, 2 of them stayed. And I'd love to know if you know which ones those are. And I'll talk about that in a little bit of a moment. But I basically went through and liquidated the entire portfolio. So cushed hard, a newer position for me, up about only 3% since the time I bought. Brookfield, obviously a major player in one of my portfolios. I love this stock, but had to cut ties with it. This one generated me about a $3,000 gain. Bell Canada sold for a 12% profit. Berkshire Hathaway, up 45%. I'll take those profits. Disney up 31%. Lockheed Martin was the only stock that I was actually down on. Now, whether you want to call this down 2.21%, let's call that flat. In dollar figures, that's about a $100 loss. So that was something that I was okay taking. And in this case, the cash generation that I needed, very, very happy to take that, make that sale there. McDonald's was up 38%. Ovintiv, the energy play, this one was up over 124% in the portfolio, about $2,300 in gains. Raytheon, again, another favorite that I've been buying over the past little while, up 32%. TD Bank, this one was up about 50%. Those stocks combined generated me just about exactly what I needed from this account, which was about $57,000 Canadian after you convert US dollars to Canadian dollars and whatnot. Notice the two stocks that I did leave in my portfolio, which are the companies Alibaba and Tencent. These are two stocks that at these given levels, I want to be adding more to these shares. Again, the timing is just not right given my personal circumstances, but with the shares down about 20% a piece, I could realize those losses, say that I made a mistake, say that these were not the right stock picks, but that's not my stance on these companies. These are two stocks that I personally have a ton of comfort owning based on my personal risk profile. These are two stocks that I intend will do very, very well over the years. And despite the recent turmoil and shakeups, they're two stocks that I think are just flat out undervalued at this point, which is why I decided to keep them in my portfolio. But in general, I think it's fair to say that I liquidated my account and I've already issued the withdrawal request. Very straightforward on a platform like Questrade. It should be wired over to my bank in just a few days. But nevertheless, as I said, it's just a very bittersweet feeling. And I want to talk more to you guys today about why I made that decision and why, yeah, it was tough first and foremost. It was a weird feeling when I was doing that. You guys know me on the channel. I've been such an advocate since I started this channel of getting that snowball rolling and getting the compounding working for you, and to kind of cut off your stocks and just say, hey, let's start from scratch here. It was a bit of a bummer, but in this case, it's going to a good cause. It's just shifting to another form of investment. Not to mention that, of course, with the TFSA, a very crucial factor in my decision here was that in just a couple of months, as the calendar year turns over and we do push into 2022, I'm going to get that entire contribution space back. So although if you want to look at it like I'm selling out of the market and timing the market and whatnot, in a sense, yes. In fact, the high markets definitely played a role in this. And for me to be able to take my profits, which on pretty much all of the stocks that I sold today, I was pulling in some form of gain, that was a factor. Locking in those profits, taking them off the table and pulling them somewhere else, in this case to a completely different type of asset, I don't think it was that bad at all, knowing that come the new year, I will get that contribution space back and I will aggressively be able to recontribute that and build up my account. So this is very much a temporary thing. The fact of the matter behind my decision here really didn't actually have to do too much with the stocks and the stock market, but more or less just the timing of my need of cash. It's kind of tricky. Again, my situation is probably very different than a lot of you guys out there. If you work, a job and you get a paycheck and that's your net income at the end of the day. With my money kind of tied up in my business account, if I need a down payment of $260,000, which is essentially what we're working with, which is a big sum of money, for me to draw that all out of my corporate account, I am giving a very healthy chunk. In fact, I need to take out a significantly higher number there just to go out and pay the government and to kiss that money goodbye to taxes. I did, of course, have to take a good healthy chunk of that out. Thank God I have a good accountant who's helping me structure it as a shareholder loan. I'm not gonna get into the logistics of that because I don't know enough to tell you about that. But from an accounting standpoint, we're gonna be essentially paying myself a dividend in the new year. Lines up interestingly with our corporate fiscal year. Again, these are all very personal things, but the decision-making process was really factored around taxation and trying to minimize and be as efficient as possible with taxes. And I think that really leads to the point of this video, is that the TFSA is such a powerful account for this exact reason. One of our longtime students made a great point here, Jason, saying that, I thought the TFSA was meant for these big decisions in life to help assist you on the financial side. You can always build it back up again. And that is so true. And some part of me had this guilt of just selling the stocks and going against everything that I believed in, but he is exactly right? It's not like I'm taking this money and going out and buying a bunch of new clothes or going on vacations and blowing it. I'm just shifting it into another financial asset, in this case real estate, another very, very lucrative type of investment in and of itself. Again, very different from what I'm used to, but nevertheless, it's just a shift in my opinion while locking in gains, knowing that I'm going to get this contribution space back. So really the objective of today's video was to come out here and just keep you guys informed, keep you guys up to date with what I'm doing with my personal investment journey. This is obviously a major change to the journey. Again, I see this as being very, very temporary. I see it as being the right financial move for myself at the moment, despite it just feeling really terrible and I feel super, super guilty. I hope that some viewers out there can learn from my personal situation and draw on what I'm personally doing when maybe you do find yourself in one of those situations where you do need access to capital. Maybe you do need money for a down payment. I'm not saying wipe out your TFSA to go spend it and blow it all, but if it's for a good reason like that, that is a clear example of how this account has so many benefits and how it's so valuable to us as Canadian investors. In a sense, I'm actually very excited in the new year when I do end up putting more money back into this account and basically having the ability to build it up again from scratch, right? Having the cash in there, taking a look at the current market, what we have in store, what the opportunities are presenting us, and basically starting from scratch, other than of course the 2 holdings that I have, I can construct my portfolio accordingly. And I think that can resonate with a lot of new investors who may just be starting or getting the ball rolling with their investments. I'm very, very much looking forward to that in the new year, but I did just want to come out here and just give you guys a little update video because yeah, I'm still a little bit, it's been an emotional roller coaster over the past like 24 hours with the offer and the bidding war and getting the place and now scrambling to come up with the down payment. It's fun, it's awesome, it's exciting. I personally wouldn't have it any other way, but I hope that by sharing my experience with you guys, I can teach you a thing or two. You can learn from me. It's okay, as bad as it feels, to sometimes dip into your investments for a reason like this. But yeah, guys, I think I'll wrap it up for this video. It was not intended to be long, but it's something that I don't get to say very often. I sold out of the market. This has nothing to do with an upcoming crash. It has nothing to do with the current market environment. I shouldn't say that because the fact that my stocks are at all-time highs and the market is at all-time highs, that did definitely play a role and reassured me that taking some money off the table and moving it into another investment is a very, very fine thing to do. In general, I think it more or less came down to timing and just how these certain circumstances have lined up and the stars aligned. It just made sense to do it this way. But yeah, that's kind of the video for you guys. Thank you guys all so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed my thoughts, give it a thumbs up. I'm so excited to finally share this news with you guys. Obviously about the baby. I've been biting my tongue for a long time. You know, we just want to make sure the baby's healthy. We want to make sure everything's good. And so far, so good. Growing like crazy, squirming around, kicking, doing all sorts of things. And yeah, it's just awesome. I guess not too long from now, we'll be calling my dad Grandpa. He'll be Grandpa Beavis, Grandpa Dad, Grandpa Mark, Granddaddy, Big Poppy, Grandpoppy. I don't know what we'd call him, but I guess we will have to see. I want to thank you guys again for all the love and support that I've received over the past 3 years of doing YouTube. Everybody here that watches the videos, drops likes, drops comments, we read them all, especially for those Academy students. You guys know you mean the world to me. They already know that, but it's just awesome to see things play out, and I'm excited for the new year when I'm able to rebuild up this portfolio and you know, get settled into our home. We get settled into that home in 3 weeks from now. So we did a very fast completion date, December 2nd, big turnaround, quick turnaround, and it's awesome. If you do care more for that type of stuff, again, we do have a completely second channel, which I'd encourage you to go subscribe to, because I think we have 600 subscribers there, and it's, yeah, a lot more personal stuff, a lot more behind the scenes. We will definitely be doing house tours. I keep calling it a house. It's a townhouse, but for us, it's a house. And for an area like Richmond, again, this is a conversation for just a completely other video, better suited for the second channel, but it's a very interesting market here right now where there's very limited supply of townhomes. You got a lot of condos, you got a lot of very expensive houses, $2 million plus, and there's like that middle market where if you don't maybe you can't afford a house, or maybe it's too much size for you, but you have outgrown a condo, or maybe you're downsizing from a house to a townhouse. There are so few options available at this given time and so much demand. And again, it's such a relief to be able to say, like, just get that hunting phase out of the way, because we had been hunting in the market for like literally probably half a year now. We've been hunting scouring, basically going back to early summer of this year. And yeah, last night to be able to just lock it in is just it's a really, really relieving feeling, and it just feels awesome. And again, it wouldn't all be possible without you guys. So I want to say thank you again so much. I hope you guys enjoyed. Go subscribe to the second channel where we'll do the house tours, we'll do all that stuff. Thank you in advance for all the comments. I'm sure this video came as a bit of a curveball to a lot of you guys, but I'm just kind of documenting my journey here for you, and I'm really, really excited to do so. As always, I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.